walked in the door. We had about 7 Falcon aircraft and about 35 people working in the hub. Back then, there was only a couple thousand packages a day coming in. There are more packages in most stations a day now than what we had as an entire hub.
We just all kind of worked together. Everybody was more or less on the same level. When Federal Express was established, no one knew even whether we were an airline, a bus company, a feeder line, or we just weren't a member of the airline industry.
America, you've got a new airline. The first major airline in over 30 years. There's no first class, no meals, no movies. In fact, no passengers. Just packages. Small, important shipments that have to get where they're going overnight. But up to now, I've had to fly at the mercy of the passenger airlines. Not anymore. Federal Express, a whole new airline for packages only.
I mean, there were times when we had all the lines lit up, and we had one customer on the first line. We'd wait on the customer at the counter, then we'd run back to the phones, and it was a madhouse. At the end of the day, you know, you had Excedrin headache number 400.
At first, it was hard to accept all the improvements, all the changes. It's sudden change, you know. One week we're doing it one way, and next week, all of a sudden, you do it something other.
It's only been 16 years since these employees and their co-workers began making corporate history at Federal Express. Born from the vision of its founder, Fred Smith, Federal Express was launched in 1973, the largest venture startup of its kind in American business. Your first day of operation at Flying Tigers was much better scripted than ours. At least the Tiger planes were filled with flowers, grapes, and furniture. On our first night, we delivered only 8 packages, and 7 of those were sent by our salespeople to test the system. Still, it was clear to us that we were onto something. There was a tremendous need for a timely and reliable system to move high-priority shipments across the country. The existing networks for air shipments were complicated, and even though they might have been well-suited to large shipments, they didn't work well for handling small individual packages. We created a hub-and-spokes approach, where all packages pass through a central sorting point, regardless of their origin or destination city. The beauty of this simple idea was that it gave us total control of the package. It never left our hands. And by routing our flights through a central point each night, we stood a better chance of matching the airlift to the loads we were carrying. But like many revolutionary ideas, ours didn't take off overnight. In fact, we lost $1 million a month for our first 27 months. And the stories you may have heard are true. Some of our pilots hawked watches and used personal credit cards to buy fuel for the planes, and some of our couriers did the same thing to fuel their vans. One of the major hurdles we faced was deregulation. We were restricted from buying larger aircraft because of outdated federal legislation. Fred Smith led the fight for deregulation of the air cargo industry, and in January of 1978, our first 727-100 joined the fleet. We started turning the corner with our first profitable year in 1975. By the time we reached our 10th birthday, we became the first company to reach $1 billion in sales without an acquisition. And we've never looked back.
This cockpit procedures trainer was fabricated from a real Falcon 20, like the ones we bought in the early 70s. And like your Bud Conestogas, these planes formed the backbone of our fleet. Today we fly more than 200 aircraft, including DC-10s, Boeing 727-100s and 200s, and Cessna 208 Caravans. We operate over 30,000 vehicles and provide direct service to 98% of the U.S. We now employ over 65,000 people, including more than 6,000 overseas. And we serve more than 100 countries worldwide, including domestic service in the UK, Belgium, Holland, Italy, Canada, and the Caribbean. 4 times a week, a DC-10 leaves Memphis bound for Tokyo. And as we've moved into the international marketplace, the hub-and-spoke system continues to guide us. In the beginning, there was just a single hub in Memphis. Today, the system has grown to include sorting facilities in Oakland, Newark, Indianapolis, Chicago, LA, and Brussels. We now average over 1 million packages a night. Every day, our 2,000 customer service agents handle 250,000 phone calls. And on any given day, our couriers will make a combined total of 720,000 stops. To handle this staggering volume and retain complete control of every shipment that passes through our system, we've pioneered new applications of technology. From the moment we pick up a package or document, its progress is electronically monitored by the Cosmos tracking system. Once it's scanned by these tiny handheld computers, called super trackers, our customers can receive virtually instantaneous package status reports. But our technology, hub and spoke system, planes and vans, they're only part of the story.
When Fred Smith created Federal Express, he created a management style to go with it. It's called People, Service, Profit. And you'll be hearing a lot more about it in the weeks ahead. It's really pretty simple. We feel that if our employees are treated with dignity and respect, they'll provide the highest level of service to our customers, and the business they give us in return will yield profits that we can all share. Perhaps our People First commitment was put to its greatest test when we discontinued our Zapmail electronic document service in 1986. Suddenly, we had a $300 million write-off, and 1,300 people who were associated with the project were out of work. Yet not a single one of these people was laid off. We kept our commitment to them, and we grew our way out of the problem. And along the way, we picked up some recognition for our efforts. Twice, we've been named one of the 10 best companies to work for in America, one of the best companies for minorities, and one of the best companies for women to work for. And most recently, we picked up the Corporate Conscience Award. On behalf of all the 65,000 employees of Federal Express, I want to welcome you aboard this team. We both come from proud traditions. Let's join forces together to create the largest transportation company in the world. Welcome aboard.